Hello and welcome to the Kaimin Sports Talk. I'm joined today, as always, by Jesse Flickinger and Kaimin columnist Jake, the Hot Take Iverson. Since we're right in the middle of February and it's getting close to March and college basketball and the NBA is heating up, we're going to do the sensible thing and talk about the NFL Combine today. So I guess my overall thoughts is the same overall thoughts as everyone else. Who's going number one, Mariota or Winston?
It's got to be Mariota. He comes out with the 40 time that just kills Winston. He threw well. He did it. All his interviews went supremely well. With Winston, you saw he went up there and he's like, I'm not even mean talking about this. Me being number one. I'm talking about Peyton Manning the Super Bowl. It's like, all right, I like the confidence, the bravado, but at the same time, he's like a year removed from jumping on that cafeteria table. And he copped some crab legs not too long ago too. So,
other things considered, just on the field, Winston's probably a better quarterback. But do you think the off the field issues and the
I think honestly we're seeing it already with Manziel. Manziel might same kind of shit. This man on campus kind of situation. And we see that transgress in the NFL into Manziel's now in rehab and may be in rehab all year. Winston still has demons. He still has problems. He's still in an open investigation. It's tough to pick him over Mariota just because he projects better as the typical NFL quarterback. Because just with all those skeletons in his closet, it's tough.
Jake?
Yeah, especially coming off a season where the NFL was so huge for off-field issues. I think combined with his 40 time, you got to go with Mariota because he's just so better composed than Winston.
I think I am kind of going to take a different route. I honestly believe that because Winston has looked to be a better X's and O guy. I think he's kind of bigger and stronger. He's more durable. I honestly think that he'll be able to put it behind him and be a productive NFL quarterback. I think he maybe will just invest in a handler or something. That'd be the smart thing. It's just a guy that tells him you can't do this anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. It's also typical because to see Winston come out, projects in that Cam Newton kind of mold a lot better. Marcus Mariota kind of reminds me more of someone like Colin Kaepernick, who might take a little bit more time. He's only played a lot in the shotgun. He could come and play in Chip Kelly's offense real quick, but that's about it.
Okay, so what about this Zach Wegeman?
Ooh, all right. So Wags, he comes out, doesn't do well in the bench press. I was a little surprised there, just because you see the man in person. He's a monster.
Yeah, but his explosiveness drills, they were on par.
With the cone and the shot, his longer shuttles, he was definitely tops in the comment. You saw that. A lot of his teammates and stuff were getting at him on Twitter, really excited about how he was doing. But at the same time, I'm not sure if he hurt or helped his stock a whole lot more with the Combine.
Jake, you had a hot take about hair?
Yeah, it's just, what's with the hair, man? That's his brand. Dale Earnhardt didn't shave his mustache. You got a brand, you keep your brand. That's my Zach Wegeman right there. That's who he will always be to me. And, just the hair is Zach Wegeman. They go hand in hand, and I don't see how he can be separate from it and be the same player.
Awesome. Well, moving on to other late February institutions, the Oscars were on Sunday night. Birdman took home most of the top honors except for the acting prizes, and you disagree with that?
I don't disagree with that. I just think Boyhood's a more adventurous, interesting film, and I think what Richard Linklater did with Boyhood is he re-examined the way that we can make films in 2015, and he put all this work into it, and for it to just kind of get pretty much shut out except for Patricia Arquette was very surprising. Birdman, is a very good film. It was not Best Picture this year for me.
I read a really interesting think piece that was saying, it kind of speaks to Hollywood's narcissism. It's
Absolutely.
A movie about Hollywood. Argo won a couple years ago. That's a movie about
The Artist.
The Artist,
3 years ago.
exactly
Yeah.
the same thing. Hollywood, it's not going to come out and be like, oh, I'm not a narcissist. It's Hollywood. But it speaks to that, the same thing that the Oscars speaks to, which is this is a night where they all get together and
Exactly.
pat themselves on the back.
And, more so, I was tough because I saw something myself, on another thing piece, thinking about, when you think about this year's Oscar, what movie are you going to come take away with? And it's going to be Boyhood, what Linklater did with that is exceptional. But at the same time, Inarritu, I mean, he's been around for a while. I mean, he did a Morris Peros early in his career, 21 grams. I mean, that's what helped with the Sean Penn joke that I don't think anyone got.
That was rough.
And then Battle. So he's paid his dues, and I mean, I'm not too upset with it. It's not like this went to Affliction again with like the Theory of Everything or the Imitation Game. So
Yeah, that would have been.
So with Boyhood getting shot, you think it's better? Is Boyhood this year's Pulp Fiction? Maybe it's a better movie, but
Oh man, I don't think it might turn into a cultish type movie because it's 3 hours long and you got to devote that time to it and you gotta really look at it in the way that it was shot in the 12 years and all the history that goes into it. So it could go like that.
no, my biggest problem with the Oscar Sunday was the exclusion of the Lego Movie from
Oh
the
my
Best
God.
Animated Feature.
Oh my God!
Are
do not
you
get me
kidding
started.
me?
Show
The
me-
Box Trolls?
Show me a movie, not just an animated movie, a movie that was better than the Lego Movie.
I am
last
not
year.
kidding you. I think Lego Movie's like top 3 animated of all
Oh,
time.
It was so good.
I have Toy Story, Finding Nemo, Lego Movie.
is this where I admit I haven't seen the Lego Movie?
Oh.
I'm gonna throw up.
It
I can't imagine.
It's very
that.
good.
I can't
It is.
imagine it. The emotional payoff at the end, it's hilarious.
Oh my God! It
But
gets
the
you.
payoff at the end, it kicks you in the balls.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that was the most fun moment of the night was when Tegan and Sarah and the Lonely Island were out there and playing the song from the Lego Movie, and I was like, everything is awesome, Academy. Like I'm totally in. And then Neil Patrick Harris got back on stage, and I wasn't so sure anymore.
I mean, I'm sorry. Like I like Neil Patrick Harris a lot. I didn't think he did the greatest job, but I don't think anyone really does that
Yeah, I was
greatest
gonna
job.
say, anyone who's good
It's
at
a
it.
brutal, thankless job.
Like
I mean,
you go up there, and every
it's-
year we say, "Oh, it's gonna be good. Alan's gonna be so good."
McFarlane.
Like Seth MacFarlane's good. I thought Seth MacFarlane.
I
I thought
didn't
the
mind- I
boot
thought that
song was
one was fun.
hysterical.
I mean,
that was a fun one. But see, the problem with it is you can't not make fun of them because then everybody's like you're just talking down to the Hollywood people, or you're talking up the Hollywood people. But you also can't go out there and make fun of them like we've seen McFarlane do, or the most famous example would be Letterman, who I would say greatest host of all time, but his Oscars didn't go over well because they didn't like that he was willing to talk bad about them and was willing to make fun of them.
I think what people really want, honestly, is just like some guy, like some Billy Crystal or like a Ryan Seacrest type, really, who's just gonna go out there and be like.
I mean, would you put like Fallon or?
I think Fallon would do a good job.
You know what's weird? If you asked me this last year, I would have said Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's him. The jokes just were not there.
Tina Fey and Amy Poehler doing
Yes.
the Golden Globes.
They're
like the
the
dream
definitive
team.
right now,
They're like the
but-
ultimate hosts for everything. I wish they could host my life, frankly.
Oh my God.
They're just so amazing.
Yes.
But I like you said, it's just thankless. Like I think
It's
anyone
a
that we
thankless
toss up
show.
there is just gonna do a horrible job,
Mhm.
and we're all gonna talk about it, and it's awful.
Mhm.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah. And
I mean, you know who could host it though?
Who's that?
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons.
God. Look at that. Missoula boy made proud. I mean, I know he's not. He's from Detroit. But you know what? He's from Missoula
We
in
can
our
claim him,
hearts.
we can claim him.
We claim him. And man, Whiplash, so good. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
I didn't see
Oh
it.
my Lord.
No, I
It
haven't
is-
had a chance yet.
That is, and he digs into that role. It is incredible. That's a role, such a well-written role. You don't get it that much, and he takes it just by the reins, and he,
I know
just
he
goes
started off
for
as a
it.
character actor. Do you think that's really what helped with that?
He still is a character. I mean, it's a character actor role. It's a great role. He's really funny, and he is terrifying. It's one of the scariest movie performances I've ever seen. And his speech was great. It was just great to see a guy who's put in his dues and has really been a good guy for a long time get the recognition he deserves.
See, I mean, I'm sure he did fine in it. I'm sure it's a great role, but I'm pretty convinced that this is more of a Lifetime Achievement Award for, like, essentially just for being J. Jonah Jameson in
He
Spider-Man.
He was born. Jameson.
That's my favorite role of all time, I think. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us this week. We hope to see you again next week. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Kaimin Sports. And if you have any hot takes and want to be on the show, give us a shout or give us a tweet, and we'll try and get you on.